Alright, this is going to be a quick update for everyone. Just trying to zoom out here to show everything on my painting workbench here. The Dinosaur here, the Mosasaur, was a little build-up paint-up I did for somebody else, and it actually turned out not too bad. I sculpted the little guy there, the little plesiosaur. So it turned out not too bad. And then over here, oh, this guy's so huge he won't even fit in the picture, of course. This 1/19th scale Horizon original Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus. So he turned out alright. Gonna see if I can get in there and show you a little more of the skin detail on him, because you can't really see all the different shades until you get up nice and close. No, the camera's not doing it. You can see a little bit. Anyway, we'll zoom out. And anyway, sorry, it's getting blurry again here. I just wanted to kind of give a quick update on a bunch of things here. First off, the last video I made with the broken Dilophosaurus kit. The reason why I have not finished that little series on redoing him is because I haven't actually gotten a good video camera yet, so I kind of want to have one set up on a tripod so I can clean him up and kind of show you guys exactly how to do it instead of just talking about it. So I figured that'd be one I just hold off on. It's actually sitting in a container full of water right now, just kind of soaking. So I'll finish that one off very soon. I think I found a good video camera that I'm going to purchase. The thing is, I needed one with a remote so I can zoom in and out while it's sitting on a tripod. So that was one of the main things, but I think I found one that's reasonably affordable that I can purchase. So that's that about the camera. Hopefully, you know, a week or two I'll have one, and then I can start making some serious videos, because that's the goal, is to make like really good tutorials about painting and sculpting. So now I'm gonna also kind of use this as a Q&A time for just a couple minutes, because I've gotten a few questions from people in comments and other videos, so I was just gonna take a minute to respond to those in video form, because it's a lot easier to explain it than to reply in the comments, which I have also done, but this is an easier way to do it. So actually this morning I read a comment from someone who was saying, is there any tips for fixing some damaged paint jobs on models? Well, that's one of those deals where I'd have to see the kind of damage to be able to answer the question. So if you look at the Brachiosaur here, we'll use him as an example. He has kind of a grayish yellowy tinge to his base coat, and he has green spots and stripes, a green pattern. So if he had a little tiny nick in the green pattern, well, I try to, you know, use one of my paints to blend that together. If it was tiny, if it was bigger scratches or bumps or whatever, and you know, it's really hard to match the paint exactly, kind of like, you know, trying to paint a scratch on a car. You're going to notice it. So in that case, I would mix a green that was as close as possible, and I would spray a lot of that pattern, you know, at least a good portion of it in the area, so that it kind of blends, and then kind of lightly spray it around the other areas of the pattern, just so you can't tell. Because if you just spray it on directly on the spots, it's not going to work out for you. So that's what I do. If it was scratched right through all of it, I would say, sorry, you're going to have to repaint it. Just trying to touch up all the different colors and make them match wouldn't happen. It would be terrible. So that's my answer to that question. And I'll answer another question that I got about sculpting. I'll take you over to my 1/15 scale Dinosaur here. See if I can zoom in on him a bit and still make him look half decent here. Because I'm using a cell phone here, so he's not done yet, but he's getting there. Anyway, the other question I got was about materials and how to make it so that it's not falling apart and stuff like that. I think I've stressed this on other videos, but I'll definitely stress it to you again. It's all about the armature. You have to get that armature, you know, nice and tight. It has the wires can't be loosely stuck into the wood. The tin foil and tape has to be packed really, really tight. Yeah, or else it won't. Even with this Shinosaurus, I've messed that up myself a little bit, and there's some parts I've had to go in and press clay right into because it's just not working out right. So, you know, the wood doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned. Like, I use like whatever size I need, pine to spine, or I use plywood sometimes because I can draw out the design of the skeleton and cut it right into the plywood with this scroll saw. I use hanger wire, and then I bulk it out with tin foil and tape. Now, one thing I will say, because a lot of us aren't good with tin foil and tape, like packing it perfectly, a lot of us miss spots. I would do your first layer of clay with Avis epoxy sculpt, because that's going to make it really, really strong. Especially if it's going to be a finished piece and you're not planning on cutting it up and making it into a resin kit. That's what I do. I have them cut and made into garage kits. But if you're not going to do that, then especially use the Avis. I'd still use it anyway, and I'd probably keep it just out of the parts where you plan to cut your model, because that's one thing I will say. It's harder to cut the model up when you're done with Avis, especially if you want to follow skin folds rather than just cutting it straight down. So that's my advice on that. And the top layer, I would use a 50-50 mixture of Super Sculpey and Super Sculpey Firm. It works great. So that's my answer to that question. As to where to buy it, someone also asked me that. If I lived in the United States, I'd probably just use Amazon, or I'd go to Hobby Lobby, use the 50% off coupons they have down there. Michael's, which we also have here in Canada, you can use 50% off. But if you don't use that, Michael's is very expensive. So I would find other places. In Canada, there's a place called Sculpture Supply Canada out of Toronto, which is a really good place to buy sculpting material. So I'd also check that out. Anyway, I think that's pretty good for the update. I'll try to come back with some more videos as soon as I get my video camera. And also, I was wondering if anybody would be interested in maybe doing live sculpting session or a live painting session. It'd have to be a little bit down the road, like once I can hook the camera up to the computer and do the Google Hangouts thing. But it'd be kind of cool to do something interactive. So if people think that's cool, then write it down in the comments and let me know what you think. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.